Hi, Nicolette. Thank you so much for working with me and doing a teletherapy session. I know we couldn't meet face to face. Did you read over all of the consents that I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, do you have any questions about that?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, so what brings you, um, I guess, in to talk today?
I'm just having a lot of anxiety, and it's really hard to get my work done and stuff. It's really getting in the way of that, and also my personal life and stuff like that.
Okay, and when you talk about anxiety getting in the way, what is preventing you from getting it, like from pushing it away and from getting rid of the anxiety?
Um, I guess I just tend to get like in my head a lot. Like I'm going through like stress at home, and that makes me anxious. And when I think about that, what's going on at home, then I get like I don't do work. I avoid work, and I avoid friends, and yeah, then I just kind of am stuck, and I don't know how to get past like that.
So when you avoid friends, what what are some things that you do instead? Or
Um,
when you avoid work, what are you doing instead?
I'll be watching TV or just go on social media. Not talk to anyone on social media, but just like go on social media. Um, or yeah, basically those two things. Oh, or I'll eat a lot. So, because I'm a stress eater.
Okay. And if you were to put a label on anxiety, like put a name on it, what would you call it?
Uh, my family. um, yeah, like, I guess I would say like financial issues. That would be my anxiety.
Okay. All right. So the financial issues are your financial issues or family financial issues?
The families.
Okay. And do you have a say in those, or
I'm sorry, what did you say?
do you have like an influence on those family financial issues, or is it kind
Um,
of outside of your control?
yeah, it's pretty outside of my control, which is why it's so hard to deal with. Because I like to have independence, and I like to be in control of things. So when I can't control something, it's like really crippling to me.
Okay. And so, what coping mechanisms do you think you could use to deal with the lack of independence? Because it seems like you do have independence, because I know we talked about before, like you were, um, talking to your friends and trying to get together a meeting date, and you were looking into getting a car, I believe.
Yeah.
So you are making progress. However, you do talk about a lack of independence when it comes to financial needs with the family.
Yeah, sorry, hold on. There's something on my computer. Okay. Um, yeah, so the thing with my family is that it's just, well, yeah, I am trying to look for a car, and I'm also, I did meet up with one of my friends, or I talked to her recently,
Oh,
which was good.
that's really good. That's a lot of progress made.
Yeah,
Okay.
that made me feel a lot better, actually.
Okay.
Uh, the thing, like, with my family, it's like, yeah, like I said, I can't really control, their situation, and their situation affects my situation. Um,
Have you
so it's kind of like,
have
what?
you talked to them about that, or is that something you've expressed, thought of expressing?
Um, I've talked about it a lot with my mom and my brother too. With my dad, I haven't as much really. It's funny because he's kind of like one of the main reasons why we're in this mess. But I I feel like now he's noticing though how I'm affected. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think he's noticing it more, which I do like I'm happy about
Okay.
because I feel like before he was just kind of in denial about it and thought that it wasn't really affecting anyone. And now I feel like, especially after this weekend, um, like I think that he realized kind of, oh, like this affected her too. So,
So you talk about this weekend.
hmm
What happened this weekend
I
that
went
made him
home.
realize?
I talked to my friend and I had a heart to heart. And yeah, I just kind of like hung out with my family when I wasn't doing assignments. So I mean that was nice, and I got to talk to like my dad a little bit more, so that was nice.
Okay. And so, like you said before, with the lack of independence, but I keep hearing that you are doing independent things.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like I'm trying to take steps, but it's like it's not happening soon enough, kind of thing. Like I'm impatient also, and it's frustrating. Um,
Right.
and when I get frustrated about like certain aspects of my situation, like I tend to just get very stressed out, and I tend to just like I have to like cope with the stress somehow, so I'll like watch TV or something. But the problem I feel like is that I'll do it too long, and then I won't like want to do anything productive. So I guess that's like an issue.
Yeah, I understand, we want to get things done and right away and
Yeah.
want that, you know, instant gratification. I want that also. But I think that we need to, make a list about different things besides staying in the house that we can do. Possibly, are there events in your town?
Um, well, maybe a little bit. I think there were more like in the fall, but
Okay.
I mean, there's events also like at my home up north,
Mm-hmm.
like on weekends, and I do go home on weekends, so like that could work out.
Okay. I mean, maybe we can look into those
Hmm.
one session.
Yeah.
One session. So, real quick, going back to the meeting up with your friend, how did that go? Because I know that was a big step that we had been talking about for a couple sessions.
It went really well actually. I kind of expressed to her. I didn't tell her exactly why, like that I was upset last time I saw her because of how she treated me. I kind of just expressed to her that I felt a little bit like neglected as a friend, and she felt really bad and said how she was like she wanted to try harder and she thought that she should have like tried harder, but she was too busy and stuff and stressed out.
Okay.
Um, and she also like thought she was being paranoid that like I needed her, which I thought was interesting. So I don't know. It was just nice. Like this was the first time I communicated with her in a very productive way.
So it sounds like she shared some concerns, and you also shared some concerns, and by doing so, you both communicated and actually made progress in that was very beneficial in your relationship and actually strengthened that bond.
Yeah, I really did.
So, going forward, do you are you gonna plan on meeting up with her soon or again?
Um, yeah, she wanted to see me before my birthday, but which is next week, but she can't because I have an exam the next day, so that's annoying. But I'll probably see her. I'll probably see her the next day when I go home. So, or over winter break.
Okay.
So.
All right. And what about using those same communication skills with your friends? Using those same exact ones with your dad? You think that would go over well or
I mean,
different?
he doesn't know how to work a phone, so I don't think like.
Okay.
Because like I communicate through like Snapchat and text through with my friends, so I don't think that in that way that would work out. But maybe it. I can try. I mean, it's hard because he has trouble hearing, but and also he has a lot on his mind, which to be honest, I didn't realize until this weekend. A lot of like financial things he has to straighten out, and so I think that like once things calm down, I'll talk to him more. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe I'll just take it or try to take it step by step.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I could see that working out if I tried to communicate with him more openly like I do with my friends, maybe. I'm always afraid kind of that he won't listen, but I'm also always like when I do talk to him, that never ends up happening. He does usually end up listening or trying to listen. So, yeah.
So, what is making the fear come that he's not going to listen? Because after you do talk to him, he said that he actually does listen. So that fear before, where is that coming from? When you feel that fear, if you were to do a full body scan, where would you feel that?
I mean, I get like in my heart, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's probably because when I was younger, he used to work a lot, and I didn't like. It's weird. Our relationship was very kind of like traditional. Like he was the guy he was the father that worked, and I was just kind of the kid, and then my mom took care of me and dealt with all that. Okay. So I didn't really know him. And then when he lost his job, and then like life changed and everything, and I got older, like we started like forming a better bond. But I don't know. I think it's just because like of that. Yeah, it's probably just because of that, and the fact that I know he doesn't like to talk. Would probably be why I get nervous. Like I sometimes have that little fear of talking to him.
Okay. So I know like each session we talk a lot about coping mechanisms. What would be one that you could use to deal with that fear? You know, the tightness in the chest, the heart racing.
That's hard. That's like a really hard question. I don't know. Maybe just, I mean, like talking to. Maybe just coping mechanism. I don't know. Maybe just writing down like 2 things that I want to say to my dad and trying to talk about one. Okay. It's not really a coping mechanism as much as a like step, but.
No, that would definitely be, yeah, that would definitely work. We do a lot of lists here, and we go through them. We process them every week, so I think that sounds like a great idea. So are you gonna? Do you guys plan on meeting up, you and your father, between now and next week?
I mean, I live with my dad, so
I know you're at the beach house, right?
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna go home the 5th or the 6th. Okay. So probably the 6th. So yeah. Okay. I'll see him like then. So.
Okay. So between now and next session, why don't you make that list that you were talking about, and choose one way that you could, cope with that fear, the tightness in the chest, and also, that friend that you were talking about. It seems like you've prepared and are working on that relationship, which is awesome. So keep that up. And also, you can use those coping mechanisms with her as well. We have about 5 minutes left. So, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about real quick?
I'm trying to think. I guess I guess just like the whole thing with like my family and everything has been very hard. It's made me feel kind of like I don't have a support system.
Okay.
So I guess that's another thing too, because sometimes I don't like feeling that way.
Okay.
Yeah, like I do feel like I have like maybe like my mom as a support system, but then sometimes she's a lot busier now. To compensate for like my dad like being older and stuff, not being able to do things. So I feel like it would be nice if I don't know, like I feel like sometimes I just don't recognize that I have like people supporting me besides my mom.
Okay.
So
So right now, if you were to think right now, is your mom the only one that you could think of that sometimes is there? You talk about your brother a lot, so I would, personally, I would think
yeah,
that he's there for you, and he's part of the support system.
yeah, no, he is too. But a lot of times, like I feel like I'm the one supporting. I'm the one who has to support him more and lift him up. So then I don't really bother him as much with my things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't want to bother him with your situations because is that fear again coming up?
No, it's just like he has his own situation that we're actually in a very similar situation in a way. Because we both like have things we want to do, and we both feel stuck in certain aspects of our lives.
Okay.
But in different ways. And he's like I feel like his is worse than mine,
Okay.
which is why sometimes I let him take the priority in like the conversation and stuff like that. Because yeah, like he's a lot older than me, so he struggles more with our situation than I do. So I always feel like I have to be there for him, and I'm like, okay, like it doesn't matter. Like I don't need him to be there for me. I'll just be there for him and listen to him and make sure he's good. Then I'll try and figure out how to support myself, like when I get the chance, kind of thing. Or I'll just talk to my mom.
Okay. So, now between next session, why don't we also, each day look at different friends, family members, and, look deeply and see who who are your actual support systems. Who can you go and talk to? Because you just repaired your relationship with the one friend, so you had a heart to heart with her. That would be one support system.
Mm.
And each day, just think about it, and we can talk about that and process that next week.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a really good idea.
So we can process, how the meeting went with your father, all the support systems that you thought about, and we'll have a lot to talk about next week.
Okay, yeah, that sounds really good.
Okay, well, I'll see you next week, and we'll meet face to face next week.
Okay.
All right, so have a good day, and I'll see you later.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.